Hello tutors, this week in the Tutoring Center you'll be prepping some of our students for their Showcase of Learning number 5. Showcase of Learning number 5 is all about functions in context and features of those functions. So when I start this with my students, I have them read the problem aloud to me. So you'll say, okay, let's start with number 1, read to me what it says. The function v of t represents the number of gallons in Lake Swain at various days after it was first measured. Use the graph below to answer the following questions. At this point, you would pause your students and have them tell you what they see in the graph, what it's describing. They could say things like, I know the x-axis is the days after it's first measured. The y-axis is the volume of water in thousands of gallons. That's an important piece to remember. And then just start asking them random questions like, when is the volume in the lake going up? When is the volume in the lake staying the same? Just kind of get them thinking about what's actually happening on this graph. For part A, though, we're going to start by evaluating v of 10 and then explain what it means. Remind your students that this 10 is an x value. So when x is 10, they're going to draw as straight a line as possible. Look up and find that the corresponding y value, if they can draw a nice straight line, that's not a straight line, but it works, is 12. So they would write two things. V of 10 equals 12. That's the evaluate part. And now they need to explain what that means. The 10 is the number of days, and the 12 is thousands of gallons. So you would say, at day 10, there are 12,000, and they can either put 3 zeros or write the word thousand. There are 12,000 gallons of water in Lake Swain. There's no such thing as Lake Swain. Mrs. Swain thought she was being cute when she made this, and she named a lake after herself. For part B, it says, for what interval is the volume increasing? Increasing from left to right means our eyes are going up. So I always have my students trace it and say the words up, down, or stays the same. So when I do that, I'm going to say up, 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 down, 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 up, 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 same, 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 same. So when I look at the places where I highlighted that it's going up, it starts at time 0 and ends at time 2. So you would say from 0 to 2 days. And we also see that it's increasing from 6 to 8 days. They can write this in words in Algebra 1. Later on, as you probably know in your math classes, they're expected to use interval or inequality notation. But for Algebra 1, it's okay for them to write it in words. You can teach them the intervals or inequalities. It's not a bad thing. For what time intervals is the volume decreasing? So similar, we're going to say our up and downwards. Up, 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 up. Down, 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 down. Up, 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 up. Same, 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 same. So for the decrease, that starts at, if we can find it, day 2 and ends at day 6. So from day 2 to day 6. Something I always like my students to notice here is that the same numbers show up in both your increase and decrease. They're just the starting and the ending points for each of those. Part D, after how many days is the volume in the lake the least? So the lowest volume happens, I think, maybe in 2 places. In one place, let's go over and see. Looks like in 2 places there. So at day 0 and at day 6. What is the greatest volume of water in the lake? If I look at the highest volume, I see that 12,000. The point 4,6 is on the graph. What does this point mean in the context of the problem? 4 is an x value, so it's the number of days. So they could say something like, at 4 days, the volume is 6,000 gallons. When we ask them to state the domain, we're asking for all of the x values that make sense in this situation. So we started measuring at day 0, and we stopped measuring at the very end here at day 12. So we would say from 0 to 12 days. And then state the range. They're looking at their y values there. The lowest y value that ever occurs on this graph is at 3, and the highest y value is at 12. And remember, it's in thousands, so you would say from 3,000 to 12,000 gallons. The back of this they would do by themselves, and we'll provide an answer key for you and go over questions in class.